They threw her to the forest like she was nothing. A wolf without a pack, a name without protection. An Omega sentenced to die alone. But the one who found her wasn't a wolf at all. He was the Alpha who hated everything she was. And the only man whose touch didn't make her wolf cower. Because he wasn't supposed to have a wolf. He wasn't supposed to feel the mate bond. He wasn't supposed to want her. And yet, when she bled out in his arms under the moonlight, the first spark of a forbidden bond ignited inside him. A bond no wolf should have. A bond no Alpha should feel. A bond that broke the laws of their world. Because the man who saved her life was the only Alpha alive who refused to be one. And the girl who'd been disowned by her pack was about to rewrite the fate of wolves. With the heart of the man who despised their kind. If you love forbidden mates, broken Alphas, and a rejected Omega who finds a love powerful enough to challenge the entire wolf realm, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe so you never miss the next cinematic werewolf story. Lyria Rowan had never seen the moon from this side of exile. Cold. Unforgiving. Free. Her former pack had dragged her to the border in chains, their Alpha spitting the final decree. You are no longer one of us. Shift again, and we will hunt you. Not because she'd broken the law, but because she'd survived something no Omega was meant to. A forbidden mark. A spark of power. A truth her Alpha wanted buried. So she ran. Alone. Broken. Starving. Until her body finally gave up beneath the shadows of the ironwood. And she collapsed at the feet of the only creature in the forest more dangerous than a wolf. A man with no scent. No aura. No wolf inside him. An Alpha by blood. Yet cursed with humanity. Damon Hale. The Alpha who rejected his birthright. The Alpha who hated wolves. The Alpha who wanted nothing to do with destiny. Until Lyria's blood touched his hands. Until her heartbeat synced with his. Until her pain ignited something ancient inside him. Something he never should have felt. A bond. A forbidden bond. One that could destroy them both. Or save the wolf realm from a war no pack was ready to face. The forest swallowed the last of Lyria's strength. She stumbled through the ironwood, vision blurring, breath ragged. Her wolf whimpered inside her chest, a faint, injured thing. Every heartbeat echoed the same truth. You're alone now. You're nothing now. You're going to die here. Snow fell thicker. Cold bit deeper. Her legs buckled. She crawled. Not toward safety, there was none. But toward the faint glow of firelight flickering in the distance. Her fingers dug into the frozen soil. Her lungs heaved painfully. Every inch of her body screamed for rest. Just before she collapsed entirely, she saw him. A man kneeling beside a dying campfire, sharpening a blade with slow, deliberate strokes. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Dark hair falling over a scar-lined jaw. He turned at the sound of her collapse. And his eyes. Grey, cold, unyielding. Locked onto hers. Lyria froze. Not out of fear. But because. He had no scent. No aura. No wolf energy. No presence. Nothing. His voice cut through the cold with sharp irritation. Great. Another stray. I told the patrols to keep their mutts out of my forest. Lyria flinched. He thought she was, what? A wandering wolf. A rogue. She tried to speak, but only a choked gasp came out. The man frowned when she collapsed face first into the snow. Hey! He stood quickly, crossing the distance between them in 3 long strides. Hey! Wolf! Don't you dare die on my land. He crouched and flipped her gently onto her back. Anne froze. Her eyes, gold, fading, frightened, blinked weakly at him. Her pulse fluttered beneath her skin. And her scent, soft, wild, and laced with desperation, hit him like a blow to the chest. Damon Hale inhaled sharply. "No," he whispered. "No, that's impossible." Because something in him, something he didn't have, reacted. His chest tightened. His fingers tingled. His pulse synced with hers for one impossible second. And something ancient rose in his blood. A sensation he had never felt. A bond. A mate bond. His breath stuttered. "Oh, hell no." He tried to pull his hand back. But his fingers stayed pressed against her throat, feeling her weakening heartbeat. "What are you doing to me?" he muttered under his breath. Lyria trembled. Her wolf whimpered. "Please," she whispered, voice breaking. "Don't leave me here." Damon cursed violently. Of all the wolves to stumble into his forest, why did it have to be one whose touch lit up nerves he wasn't supposed to have? He scooped her into his arms. "Damn it," he muttered. "Fine. But just until you stop dying. After that, you're gone. Understand?" Her head fell against his shoulder. She didn't answer. Her breathing grew shallower. Damon swore again, louder this time. "No. No, no, don't you die. I'm not carrying your corpse to your pack." He pressed a hand to her chest, feeling her heartbeat falter. And something inside him snapped. Not human. Not wolf. Something in between. Something forbidden. His voice dropped to a low, desperate whisper. "Stay alive, little wolf." He didn't know why he said it. He didn't know why it mattered. He only knew that losing her felt like losing something he never had. He ran through the forest, carrying her close. Her breath faded. Her pulse slowed. Her fingers curled weakly around his shirt. And somewhere deep beneath his ribs, a spark ignited. A spark that wasn't supposed to exist. A spark that answered her fear with something terrifyingly fierce. Damon Hale, the alpha who had rejected the wolf inside him, felt the impossible beginning to bloom. A mate bond. With the girl dying in his arms. Damon kicked open the cabin door with more force than necessary. Snow and cold spilled in behind him as he carried Lyria across the threshold. His pulse, normally steady, controlled, unbreakable, thundered like a war drum. Her breathing was too shallow. Her skin too cold. Her heartbeat too faint. He laid her gently on the bed, then stepped back like he'd touched something explosive. "What the hell are you?" he muttered. Lyria whimpered, curling weakly onto her side. Damon frowned. He didn't know much about wolf physiology. He'd refused every lesson, every training session, every connection to the part of him born to lead. But he knew one thing. Wolves didn't survive exile alone. And this one was barely hanging on. He grabbed blankets, firewood, a vial of herbal tonic, then hesitated. Her clothes were soaked with snowmelt and blood. He clenched his jaw. "I'm not looking," he said aloud, pointing at her unconscious form. "This is strictly medical." He turned away, peeling the wet fabric carefully, respectfully, draping her with furs. Her skin was marred, bruises, cuts, lash marks that weren't from wolves or rogues. He froze. These were from people. "What pack did this to you?" he whispered. She didn't answer. He set the herbs to boil, pacing like a trapped animal. His thoughts raced, too fast, too unfamiliar. Why did he care? Why was he panicking? Why did her fading heartbeat feel like a threat to his own? Finally, she stirred. A soft groan escaped her lips. Damon rushed to her side, then caught himself mid-motion, stopping short like his body betrayed him. Her eyes fluttered open. Golden. Soft. Haunted. She tried to sit up, but pain bent her forward. He pressed a hand gently to her shoulder. Don't move. Lyria went still. Not in fear. In recognition. Her gaze swept the room, then landed on him. You saved me. Damon huffed. Temporarily. You were dying in my forest. I don't need wolf corpses attracting predators. Her brow furrowed. Oh. She looked down, shoulders curling in. Kel winced. Great. Now I sound like an ass. He cleared his throat. What's your name? For a moment she didn't answer. Then. Lyria. Lyria Rowan. Her voice wavered like she expected punishment for speaking. And you, she whispered. Damon stiffened. Names had power in the wolf world. Names meant lineage. Meant responsibility. Meant a life he'd rejected. He considered lying. But something in her gaze, open, fragile, trusting despite everything, made the lie stick in his throat. Damon. Damon Hale. Lyria inhaled sharply. Hale. The name of one of the ancient Alpha bloodlines. One of the ruling clans. A dynasty of powerful shifters. That means you're, she began. Don't say it, he snapped. She flinched. Damon cursed under his breath and softened his tone. I don't lead a pack. I don't claim a title. I don't have a wolf. Lyria blinked. Oh. I didn't mean to offend. He frowned. Why would that offend me? I'm telling you the truth. She hesitated. Most wolves feel shame when they lose their wolf. I didn't lose it, Damon muttered. I rejected it. Lyria stared. You, what? It's complicated. No, she whispered, voice barely audible. It's impossible. He met her gaze steadily. I'm living proof. Lyria touched her chest absently, as if testing her own heartbeat. And yet, when you carried me, I felt something. Damon froze. Felt what? She looked up at him with quiet confusion. A pull. A pulse shot through his body. He hid it behind a scowl. Probably because you were delirious. No, she said softly. It felt real. He glared, defensive. It wasn't. Silence fell between them, thick, charged, uneasy. Then Lyria lowered her gaze. Why did you help me? You don't even like wolves. Damon folded his arms. I don't like wolves who know their strength and misuse it. Lyria flinched so hard her shoulders hit her ears. I'm not strong. He studied her bruises, her frail breath, her trembling fingers. No, Damon said slowly. But someone feared you would be. Her eyes widened. He stepped closer. What did your pack do to you? Lyria's breath hitched. His voice softened in spite of himself. Tell me. She swallowed, voice thin. They found something. A mark. A sign. They said it was forbidden. That I shouldn't exist. That I would bring ruin if I stayed. Damon's jaw clenched. What mark? She shook her head. I don't know. I never saw it. They hid mirrors. They kept me in the dark. They said if I understood it, I'd become dangerous. A shiver ran down her spine. So they beat it out of me. Out of my wolf. Damon's blood boiled. And then? They cast me out. He stared at her. This girl, this bruised, starving, trembling Omega, was exiled not because she was weak, but because she was too important. Too dangerous. Too unknown. Damon didn't realize his fist had tightened until his knuckles cracked. He stood abruptly. Strip. Lyria gasped, retreating against the bedframe. Damon cursed. No, I mean. He dragged a hand over his face. I need to see the mark. Oh, she exhaled shakily. Oh. Her fingers trembled as she lifted her tunic collar. Just enough to reveal. Damon inhaled sharply. Holy hell. On her shoulder blade burned a symbol glowing faint gold under the skin. Not a mate mark. Not a prophecy seal. Not a curse rune. A bond ignition. A dormant mate mark. One belonging to. His blood turned to fire. No, he whispered. No, 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 this can't be real. Lyria trembled. What does it mean? Damon staggered backward, running a shaking hand through his hair. It means you're not just an Omega. His pulse hammered. You're bound. To an Alpha. Her breath hitched. But that's impossible. I've never met. Damon swallowed hard. It means you already have a mate. Lyria went still. So did he. Because the mark didn't just glow. It pulsed. In sync with Damon's heartbeat. And Damon Hale, the Alpha with no wolf, felt something inside him answer. Something ancient. Something forbidden. Something impossible. Lyria whispered, terrified. Damon, why is it reacting to you? His voice cracked. Because. He breathed out a truth that shattered the world he'd built. I think I'm the mate your pack disowned you for. Damon staggered back from the glowing mark as if it were a blade pressed against his throat. This couldn't be happening. Not to him. Not again. Lyria clutched the blankets to her chest, trembling. What do you mean you're my mate? She whispered, voice barely holding together. You don't even have a wolf. I know. His voice was rough, shaking, furious, not at her, but at fate. Lyria swallowed hard. So how can the bond exist? Damon didn't answer. Because he didn't know. Because he didn't want to know. Because something inside him, something he rejected, something he buried, had stirred the moment she fell into his arms. His heartbeat synced with hers. His aura flared for the first time in years. His blood recognized her. His wolf. The wolf he smothered since childhood. Had reached for her through the cracks. Lyria wrapped her arms around herself, shrinking. If you don't want the bond, she whispered, voice breaking, you can reject me. Damon froze. The air between them tightened. Reject her. The thought punched him in the chest in a way he didn't understand. He forced his jaw to unclench. I don't reject wolves, he said quietly. I just avoid them. Lyria looked away, hurt flickering across her face. That's the same thing. No, he snapped, too quickly, too sharply. She flinched. Damon swore under his breath and forced himself to breathe. I didn't mean, look. He knelt in front of her, keeping his voice steady. Whatever this bond is, it's not your fault. Her eyes shimmered. But my pack thought it was. Damon's expression darkened. They hurt you because they're cowards. Her voice cracked. They said the mark meant I'd bring ruin, that my mate would be someone no wolf could accept. Someone cursed with power that breaks packs. Damon's breath caught. Power that breaks packs. He looked down at his hands. His cursed heritage. His rejected wolf. His bloodline that brought misfortune to every pack it touched. He whispered bitterly. They weren't wrong. Lyria's head snapped up. Damon expected fear. Revulsion. Disgust. Instead, she whispered with trembling certainty. You saved me. He looked away. Don't romanticize it. I saved you because you were dying, and I don't like watching things die in front of me. That's not why. Her voice softened, a whisper wrapped in truth. You could have left me in the snow. But you didn't. He closed his eyes. Lyria continued, breath unsteady. You said you avoid wolves. But you ran into the forest at full speed to save one. I didn't run, he muttered. You did. Damon exhaled sharply. Fine. I did. But it doesn't matter. Bonds don't choose good matches, they choose chaos. I'm not someone a wolf should ever be tied to. She studied him gently. You're wrong. He froze. No one has ever said that to me, he whispered. Lyria smiled faintly, painfully. Maybe no one ever saw you the way I do. Something inside Damon twisted. Something he didn't want to feel. Something he'd sworn never to feel again. He stood abruptly. We're not doing this. You need answers. And I need to make sure the bond isn't a trick. She blinked. A trick? Your pack exiled you because of that mark. He nodded toward her shoulder. They must have feared someone powerful was tied to you. She hugged herself tighter. I don't know who that would be. Damon hesitated. Then forced the words out. It might be me. Lyria's breath hitched. Why? Damon looked out the window, jaw tight. Because I'm not just a human-born alpha. I'm something else. Something else, she echoed. He met her gaze. A storm lived in his eyes. I'm the last Hail heir, the pack breaker. Wolves fear me. Elders hate me. Prophecies warn about me. He inhaled. My wolf was too strong. Too unstable. Too dangerous. So I rejected it. Forced it down. Buried it until it stopped answering. Lyria's heart clenched. He whispered. I am an alpha who can't shift. An alpha who can't mark. An alpha who was never meant to have a mate. Silence. Lyria whispered softly. Until me. Damon stiffened. It's probably a mistake. Her lip trembled. Do you feel nothing? He hesitated. Then. Lyria. His voice was low, rough, conflicted. When I touched you, I felt something. Something I haven't felt since childhood. Her heartbeat quickened. What did you feel? He swallowed hard. Like a door opened. One I slammed shut years ago. Their eyes locked. Her voice softened. Damon, look at me. He lifted his gaze. She reached forward and placed a trembling hand on his chest. Right over his heart. It reacted instantly. A warm pulse shot through his body. A spark ignited in his ribcage. Something inside him, something deep, ancient, and starving, howled in recognition. Damon inhaled sharply. Lyria, stop. But her hand stayed. And his wolf. His wolf, silent for years. Growled. Damon staggered back, stunned. No. No, 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 this can't be happening. It is, she whispered. His voice cracked. I'm feeling the bond. Her breath trembled. So am I. He stared at her, eyes wide, almost frightened. You shouldn't be able to tether to me. I don't have a wolf. You do, she whispered. You just buried him. He shook his head, backing away. If my wolf wakes up, if he comes back, everyone will be in danger. You don't understand. I'm not normal. I'm not safe. She stood shakily, despite the pain. You are safe to me. Her words hit him like a strike to the heart. He whispered, raw. Why aren't you afraid of me? Lyria's wolf flickered in her eyes. Because my wolf recognizes yours. Damon froze. His chest rose and fell sharply. Lyria. Then the cabin shuddered. A deep rumbling echoed outside. Wolves howled in the distance. Not normal wolves. Hungry. Rogue. Damon's eyes snapped to the door. Lyria tensed. He whispered. They're coming for you. Her heart dropped. My pack. No. Damon lifted his blade. Something worse. A shadow ran past the window. Lyria gasped. Damon's voice hardened into pure alpha steel. Stay behind me. She reached for him. Damon, your wolf. He growled softly. I don't need my wolf to kill anything that threatens you. But the ground trembled again. Stronger. Closer. Lyria's eyes widened, voice faint with fear. That's not rogues. Damon turned slowly. What is it? She swallowed. Her voice cracked. It's the hunter they sent to finish what my pack started. Damon's grip tightened. Then let him come. Lyria grabbed his arm. No, Damon, you don't understand. He's not coming to kill me. Her voice broke. He's coming to kill you. The cabin walls trembled. Snow drifted from the rafters like ash. The fire guttered. Something massive moved through the trees, slow, deliberate, inevitable. Damon tightened his grip on the blade strapped to his forearm, muscles coiling, breath steady despite the storm inside him. Lyria's fingers dug into his sleeve. Damon, listen to me, my pack didn't send a normal hunter. He didn't look away from the door. I figured. No, she insisted, voice cracking. They sent the Blood Reaver. Damon froze. What? Lyria's throat bobbed. He's not a wolf. Not anymore. He's something twisted by ancient magic. He was created to eliminate threats to the alpha bloodlines. Damon's eyes narrowed. Threats like, what? Lyria met his gaze with trembling fear. Threats like you. A deep snarl vibrated outside, low, guttural, inhuman. Damon's jaw tightened. So that's why he's here. Lyria swallowed hard. He was sent to kill the cursed Hail Heir. The alpha destined to break packs. Damon's fists clenched. That prophecy died when I rejected my wolf. Lyria shook her head. No. It didn't. You rejecting your wolf proved the prophecy true. It means you're the only alpha who can't be controlled. A heavy blow slammed into the outside wall. The entire cabin shook. Damon pushed Lyria behind him. I don't care if he was bred in a nightmare. No one touches you. Lyria's heart twisted painfully. This is my fault, she whispered. They marked me because of you. They exiled me because of you. They sent the Blood Reaver because of... Damon spun, grabbing her shoulders, not harshly, but with a steady, grounding force. Stop. His voice was deep, fierce, unyielding. This is not your fault. I was a target long before you were born. Her eyes glistened. But my pack said. Your pack lied. Damon's jaw clenched. They feared you would find me. They feared the bond. They feared you'd awaken the part of me they tried to bury. Lyria trembled. Did I awaken it? She whispered. Another blow rocked the cabin. Damon didn't blink. Yes. The air between them pulsed. Then. A third strike hit. The door splintered. A massive claw punched through the wood, blackened, twisted, dripping crimson. Lyria gasped. Damon stepped forward, blade raised. The claws retracted. Silence. Then the door exploded inward. Snow and splinters burst across the room. The Blood Reaver stepped inside. He was once a wolf, maybe centuries ago. Now he was something else entirely. Twisted bones. Elongated limbs. Eyes glowing with dead magic. He inhaled deeply. A sound like rust scraping. Found, you. Lyria's knees buckled. Damon's aura flared. Not wolf. Not magic. But pure alpha dominance he hadn't used in years. I'm right here, he growled. Come try me. The creature tilted its head. Kill. Hail air. Break, prophecy. Restore, order. Damon's smile was dark, dangerous. Come and try. The Blood Reaver lunged. Damon moved faster than Lyria had ever seen anything move. He ducked under the swipe, slashed across the beast's ribs, rolled, and kicked off the table, launching himself toward its head. Still met corrupted flesh. Black blood spilled. The Blood Reaver roared and slammed Damon into the wall. Lyria screamed. Damon! He hit the wood so hard it cracked, but he pushed to his feet immediately, spitting blood. That all you've got, he snarled. The creature lunged again. This time Damon wasn't fast enough. The Blood Reaver's claw sliced across Damon's abdomen, deep. Blood blossomed instantly. Lyria's heart splintered. She rushed toward him, but Damon barked. Stay back. The Blood Reaver turned toward her. No. Damon bellowed, launching himself at the monster with reckless fury. He drove the blade into its eye. Black ichor exploded. The creature shrieked and threw him across the room like he weighed nothing. Damon crashed into the hearth, coughing violently. Lyria ran to him despite his warning, hands glowing faintly with a golden shimmer she didn't understand. Damon, please, stay with me. He grabbed her wrist, tight, grounding. I said, behind me. Damon, you're bleeding. He smirked through the pain. I've had worse. He hadn't. The Blood Reaver reared back, broken eye sizzling. Wolf. Omega, mate bond, forbidden. Lyria's breath caught. It knows. Damon pushed to his feet, swaying. I don't care what it knows. The Blood Reaver lunged. Lyria, move. But she didn't move. She stepped in front of Damon, hand raised instinctively. The mark on her back blazed with golden fire. The Blood Reaver recoiled as if burned. Damon froze. What did you just do? Lyria stared at her glowing palm, terrified. I don't know. The creature hissed. Mate mark, awakened. Prophecy, disrupted. Must, kill. Damon stepped beside her, blade ready despite the blood pouring from his wound. You want her? His voice dropped into a deadly growl. You go through me. The Blood Reaver charged. Damon pushed Lyria aside at the last second, but not away. He spun her behind his back and stepped into the attack. Claws slashed. Teeth snapped. Damon's blade carved arcs of silver. The battle was brutal, desperate, savage. And Damon was losing. He staggered. He bled. His breathing became ragged. The Blood Reaver pinned him by the throat. Die. Hail air. Lyria screamed, reaching out. And her mark exploded with golden light. Not faint. Not flickering. A full burst. A shockwave of raw, primal energy blasted across the cabin. The Blood Reaver flew backward, crashing through the far wall. Damon collapsed to his knees, coughing. Lyria dropped beside him. What was that? He gasped, staring at her glowing palm. I don't know, she cried. Every time I reach for you I feel something answer. He swallowed hard. That wasn't wolf magic. I know. That wasn't human either. I know. They stared at each other, breathless, terrified, connected by something neither understood. Outside, the blood river rose again. Damon pulled Lyria close, voice shaking. We can't win this fight alone. Her eyes widened. Then what do we do? Damon exhaled shakily. We wake my wolf. Lyria's breath hitched. Damon, you said your wolf is too dangerous. I don't care. He cupped her face. You're my mate. I feel it. I know it. And I'm not losing you because I was too afraid to be who I am. Lyria swallowed. How do we wake him? Damon's eyes burned with a terrifying, beautiful certainty. You help me. The blood river roared in the distance, closing in. Lyria whispered. I'll do anything. And Damon Hale, the alpha with no wolf, took her hands, breath shuddering. Then stay with me. No matter what happens. No matter what I become. Lyria nodded. I promise. The cabin shuddered again. The creature charged. And Damon closed his eyes, going deep into the darkness where he'd locked his wolf away, calling him home. The ground vibrated as the blood river barreled toward the shattered cabin. Snow exploded. Trees split. Every instinct Lyria had screamed to run. But Damon didn't move. He knelt in front of her, eyes closed, hands gripping hers so tightly she felt his pulse in her bones. Damon, she whispered, voice trembling, his coming. I know. Her heart hammered. What do I do? His breath hitched. You anchor me. A chill ran up her spine. I anchor you. Damon swallowed, jaw clenched as if he were bracing for a storm. If I go too deep, if the wolf takes over completely. I need to feel you. Hear you. Smell you. I need something to pull me back. Lyria's pulse fluttered. You trust me with that? Damon opened his eyes. And she had never seen eyes like his before. Barely human. Barely restrained. Shining with an ancient hunger fighting to break free. I trust you with my life, he said softly. Her breath trembled. And with your wolf. He nodded once. Outside, the blood river let out an inhuman howl. Damon's hand squeezed hers. Lyria, whatever happens, do not let go. I won't. A low rumble escaped his chest. The first sign of his wolf stirring beneath the surface. Damon exhaled sharply, head bowing as he fought it. I haven't shifted since I was 13, he panted. They sealed him. I sealed him. He's furious. Lyria tightened her grip. Let me help. His eyes flicked up, now glowing amber, dangerous and beautiful. You already are. The blood river burst into view. Charging straight toward them. Lyria gasped. Damon. He didn't look. He took a deep breath. And let go. A sound tore from his chest. Half roar. Half scream. Half rebirth. His back arched violently, muscles convulsing as bones cracked beneath his skin. Lyria didn't let go. Damon, Damon, stay with me. He snarled, head snapping up, teeth lengthening. Lyria. His voice shredded. Don't let go. The blood river leapt. And Damon shifted. Not cleanly. Not smoothly. But violently. Like a dam breaking. His form exploded with golden light. His muscles tore and reformed. Fur rippled across his skin. Claws erupted from his fingers. Teeth sharpened into obsidian blades. The blast of aura shattered the cabin remains as Damon Hale. The sealed alpha. The cursed heir. The wolf who never should have awakened. Finally unleashed the creature the elder feared most. A massive wolf of gold and shadow stood before her, bristling with fury. Lyria's breath caught. He was huge. Larger than any alpha she had ever seen. His eyes. Glowing twin suns. Ancient. Wild. Starved. He growled, a sound that vibrated the earth. But when those eyes landed on her, the rage softened. Just slightly. Lyria reached out slowly. Damon. His ears flicked. Her voice anchored him. She stepped closer, trembling but fearless. You came back. His massive head lowered, pressing his forehead to hers for one soft, breathtaking second. Before the blood reaver slammed into him from the side. Damon roared. The forest shook. He hurled the creature backwards, pinning it to the ground with claws that split earth. The blood reaver shrieked and struck him across the muzzle, drawing blood. Damon snarled. Not in pain. In pure territorial fury. Lyria's heart raced. His wolf was magnificent. And terrifying. The blood reaver dug its claws into Damon's shoulder, corrupt magic burning his fur. Lyria screamed, rushing forward. Damon. His head snapped toward her, eyes blazing with protectiveness. She forced out the words she'd never said aloud. I'm your mate. I'm yours. Come back to Emmy. The reaction was instant. His aura detonated outward in a golden shockwave. The blood reaver was flung off him like a rag doll. Damon lunged, jaws closing around the creature's neck with primal ferocity. Bones cracked. Black blood sprayed. The forest itself recoiled. But the blood reaver didn't die. It regenerated. Lyria froze in horror. It won't stop, she whispered. It can't be killed. The blood reaver hissed through a mangled throat. Kill. Hail air. Damon turned to face Lyria, panting, blood dripping from his muzzle. He looked at her like a wolf looks at its moon. She stepped closer, tears streaming. Damon, your wolf isn't enough alone. You need me. His golden eyes flickered. She touched his fur, warm, trembling, alive. And the mate mark on her shoulder ignited. Not weak. Not faint. Fully awakened. Golden fire surged from her hand into his fur, spiraling across his body like living light. Damon roared. But not in pain. In power. His wounds healed. His muscles grew. His aura intensified into something divine. The blood reaver recoiled. No, impossible, forbidden. Lyria whispered. You wanted to kill him. Then you should have killed the mate first. Damon lowered his head beside hers, snarling as golden fire danced along his fangs. The blood reaver lunged, desperate, feral. Damon charged, powered by her bond. Lyria grabbed his fur and ran beside him, golden magic trailing in the snow. Together. The Alpha with no wolf. And the Omega with forbidden power. Struck as one. Damon's jaws closed around the blood reaver's skull. At the exact moment Lyria's palm met its heart. A burst of golden energy surged. White light consumed the clearing. When it faded, the blood reaver lay still. Dead. Truly dead. Damon staggered, shifting halfway back into human form, bleeding, panting, exhausted. Lyria ran to him. He collapsed into her arms, half wolf, half man. His voice was broken, raw, human. You saved me. Lyria cradled his face, sobbing. We saved each other. His golden eyes softened. You're mine, he whispered, not a command, but a plea. And I'm yours. Her tears fell on his skin. Yes, she breathed. I'm yours. Damon leaned into her touch, nuzzling her palm in a way that was both wolf and man. But before she could speak again, a horn sounded in the distance. Lyria stiffened. That's my pack. Damon's eyes darkened. They've come to take you back. No, she whispered, voice trembling. They've come to finish the punishment. Damon rose, fury in every line of his body. Then they'll go through me. Lyria grabbed his arm. Damon, if they see you shifted, if they learn you're my mate, this becomes war. He touched her cheek. Then it becomes war. She shook her head, heart racing. No. There has to be another way. Damon pulled her against his chest. There is. His voice dropped to a deadly whisper. You stay with me. The horn sounded again, closer, clearer. Her pack was almost here. And Lyria whispered the only truth she had left. I won't leave you. The horn echoed again. Closer, sharper, vibrating through Lyria's bones. Her breath hitched. They're almost here. Damon's arm tightened around her waist, steady, unyielding. Then let them come. His voice, still rough from shifting, carried the steel of a born alpha. Not the alpha he rejected. Not the alpha he feared. But the alpha destiny tried to erase. Lyria turned to him, heart hammering. Damon, if they see what you did, if they see your wolf, they'll demand answers. They'll call you a threat. They'll demand you kneel. He stepped closer, golden eyes burning. I've never kneeled in my life. That's the problem, she whispered. My pack believes the Hale bloodline will bring ruin. They believe you're the prophecy alpha, the one who destroys the old order. Damon's jaw clenched. I don't care what they believe. But they do, she insisted desperately. And they hold authority. Territory. Elders. Warriors. They won't listen, they'll just attack. He tilted her chin up gently. Lyria. Look at me. Her breath caught. You think I'm afraid of a pack? He stepped closer until her heartbeat synced with his. I fought a monster born from blood rituals without my wolf. And now. He exhaled softly, forehead brushing hers. Now I have him. Her chest tightened. But what if they hurt you, she whispered. Damon cupped her cheek, rough thumb brushing her skin like she was something fragile and precious. They won't lay a hand on me. Then he paused. And they definitely won't lay a hand on you. Her eyes shimmered. And if they try? Damon smiled, slow, lethal, breathtaking. Then I'll remind them why my family once ruled the mountain packs. The ground rumbled. Shapes moved between the trees. Not rogues. Not beasts. Wolves. Big ones. Strong ones. Elite pack warriors, coated in dark obsidian fur, eyes glowing a deep crimson. Her former pack signature. Damon stepped in front of Lyria, body coiled like a drawn bow. Lyria grabbed his arm. Please, Damon, don't attack unless you have to. He didn't answer immediately. His wolf growled low, not a warning, but a promise. The wolves emerged from the tree line, forming a semicircle. Growls rolled through the forest. Then a man stepped forward. Tall, cruel eyes, silver-streaked hair. Alpha Caden Rowan. Her former alpha. Her judge. Her executioner. He smiled when he saw Lyria. Well, well. The exile survives. I'm almost impressed. Lyria flinched behind Damon. Caden's gaze snapped to him. And you are trespassing on pack land. Identify yourself. Damon didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't lower his chin in respect. His voice was steady. No. Caden raised a brow. No. That wasn't a request, outsider. Damon tilted his head slightly. Did I stutter? A ripple of anger spread through the wolves. Caden frowned. You reek of wolf energy, but I sense no pack. No allegiance. What are you? A threat, Damon said simply. Gasps echoed. Lyria stepped forward quickly, trying to de-escalate before blades arced and teeth tore. Alpha Kaden, please, stop. He saved my life. Kaden's smirk sharpened. Saved? From what? From consequences. From prophecy. From the danger you became. Lyria's stomach twisted. I wasn't dangerous. You were marked, Kaden spat. A sign of forbidden fate. A mate destined only to destroy. Damon's eyes flared gold. He stepped forward. You hurt her. Kaden's eyes flickered with mock offense. She was an Omega. An inconvenience. A malfunction. I removed the problem. Damon lunged forward. Damon, no. Lyria threw herself in front of him. Her palms pressed against his chest, stopping him by sheer force of desperation. Kaden laughed. Oh. You defend him. You cling to a mate who has no pack, no wolf, no lineage. Damon growled. Kaden smirked wider. You think you can claim her? His aura flared like poison. You think you can override a decree of exile? Damon stopped growling. He stopped moving. He simply whispered, with a voice that froze the entire forest. She is mine. A shockwave pulsed outward from him. Pure alpha dominance. Unmistakable. Undeniable. The wolves staggered. Kaden's eyes widened. No. Impossible. You don't have a wolf. Damon stepped forward. His aura grew brighter. Stronger. Colder. My wolf answers only to her. He wrapped an arm around Lyria's waist, pulling her against him. Lyria gasped as her mark ignited with golden heat. Kaden inhaled sharply. You're bonded. Damon smirked. Problem. Kaden snarled and lifted a hand. Power gathering for a pack order strike meant to force Damon to kneel. Lyria's eyes widened. No, Damon, move. The command hit. Everything shook. Branches cracked. Air rippled. Snow jumped off the ground. It didn't touch Damon. Not an inch. He stood unmoved. Unaffected. Untouched. Kaden stumbled backward, horrified. That's impossible. Damon shrugged. Your authority means nothing to me. Lyria stared at him. At his calm. At his strength. At the way he radiated power without even shifting. Her heart ached. He was magnificent. Kaden tried again, voice trembling with rage. I am ordering you, kneel. The command blasted the clearing. And Damon took one lazy step forward. Kaden choked. Lyria exhaled shakily. Damon whispered. You're not strong enough to make me kneel. His next words dropped like a blade. And you're not strong enough to take her. The pack bristled, snarling. One wolf lunged. Damon didn't even move. His wolf aura flared, silent but crushing, and the wolf collapsed to the ground, whimpering, tail tucked. Kaden staggered. What are you? Damon smiled. The hail air you hoped was dead. Silence. Horror rippled through the pack. Lyria grabbed Damon's hand. Please, she whispered fiercely. Don't kill them. Damon looked down at her. And for her. For her alone. He softened. His aura receded. He whispered. For you. Only you. Kaden trembled. You bonded her. You took what was ours. Damon's smile faded. She was never yours. His eyes blazed gold. She was disowned. Beaten. Betrayed. Left to die. He stepped forward, voice low. You lost your right to claim her the moment you raised a hand to her. Kaden shook with rage. Then what now? What do you intend? Damon looked at Lyria. She looked at him. And he said, I intend to take her home. Kaden roared. You can't. The prophecy. Damon snarled. The prophecy can burn. The pack recoiled. Lyria's heart pounded. Damon. He took her hand. You choose, he said softly. And I'll follow. Lyria turned to her pack. To the wolves who abandoned her. Called her cursed. Marked her dangerous. And left her to die. Then she turned back to Damon. The alpha who had no wolf. No pack. No destiny. But offered her everything anyway. She lifted her chin. I choose him. A collective gasp echoed. Damon exhaled, relief trembling through him. Kaden stepped forward, face twisted with hate. Then you choose exile forever. No pack. No protection. No burial rites. You are nothing. Lyria smiled faintly. I was nothing with you. She reached for Damon's hand. With him, I'm not. Damon's grip tightened. Let's go, she whispered. And Damon Hale turned his back on the pack that once ruled the forest. Walking away with the girl destiny tried to erase. Her hand in his. Her wolf awakening inside her. His wolf finally free. And behind them, the prophecy began to crumble. Snow fell softly as Damon led Lyria away from the pack that once owned her fate. Behind them, growls faded. Dominance postures broke. Kaden's voice cracked with frustrated rage. But none of it mattered. Not anymore. Lyria felt the bond humming beneath her skin like a second heartbeat. Warm. Steady. Impossible. Damon's hand never left hers. Not even once. He didn't drag her. He didn't shield her. He simply walked at her pace. As if they were equals in a destiny neither of them asked for. But both of them had chosen now. After several minutes, when the forest swallowed them fully, Lyria finally whispered. Damon, what now? He slowed. Turned to face her. Golden eyes softened, the intensity of the battle ebbing into something far gentler. Now? Damon murmured. Now we breathe. Her lips parted. He reached up, brushing a strand of hair from her cheek with thumb and forefinger, careful and tender in a way she never imagined an alpha could be. You've been running your whole life, Lyria, he whispered. Now you rest. She trembled. And you, she whispered. What do you rest from? A shadow crossed his expression. My wolf, he said softly. Fear of becoming him. Fear of losing control. Fear of prophecy. Fear of myself. He took her hand and placed it against his cheek. But when you touched me in that cabin. His breath shook. For the first time in years, I didn't feel fear. I felt quiet. Lyria's heart clenched. You felt me. He nodded once. And I felt whole. Her eyes burned. But she whispered something that had been lodged in her throat for too long. Damon. I'm scared. His hand moved instantly to her waist, drawing her closer. You're safe. No, she said, shaking her head. Not scared of them. Scared of this. Her fingers pressed lightly against the glowing mark beneath her collar. The one that connected them. The one that had exiled her. The one that had awakened him. Damon's brows furrowed. Lyria. What if I'm not enough? Her voice trembled. What if the bond hurts you? What if it ruins us? What if prophecy comes true because of me? What if I'm the reason? He silenced her with a fingertip pressed to her lips. Stop. She swallowed hard. You listened to your pack for too long, Damon murmured. They told you were nothing. That you were weak. That you were cursed. He leaned his forehead against hers. Let me be the one to tell you the truth now. Lyria's breath hitched. You are my bond. Her throat tightened. You awakened my wolf. Her heartbeat stumbled. You saved my life. A tear slipped down her cheek. And you, Damon whispered fiercely, are the only future I want. Her hands shook as they curled into the fabric of his shirt. Damon. Snow fell softly around them as he brushed her tears away with the back of his knuckles. I'm scared too, he admitted. Her breath caught. But for the first time, I'm not scared of the bond. He paused, eyes softening. I'm scared of losing you. Her chest splintered. Damon, you won't. He cupped her jaw, thumb stroking her skin. Promise me something, he whispered. Yes. Never vanish into the snow again. Not without me. The corners of her mouth trembled with the smallest, most heart-wrenching smile. Then stay with me. A gentle laugh left him, rough, disbelieving, beautiful. I'm not going anywhere. Then he lifted her chin, and she melted into him as their lips met for the first time. It wasn't a kiss of hunger or dominance. It was a kiss of claiming. Of choosing. Of finally belonging. The golden light of the mate mark flared between them, pulsing, warm and soft like a heartbeat shared. When they parted, breathless, Damon whispered, You're my home now. Her tears spilled freely. And you're mine. He pulled her into his chest, chin resting atop her head as she held him tightly. For the first time in her life, Lyria wasn't cold. Or frightened. Or unwanted. She was held. Chosen. Loved. But fate. Fate always watches. And it was watching now. A cold wind swept through the trees, carrying faint whispers. Not wolves. Not rogues. Not prophecy. Something older. Something deeper. Something shifting. Damon stiffened. Lyria felt it too. A ripple of power that didn't belong to them. She looked up at him. What is that? Damon's expression darkened. I don't know. But his grip around her tightened. And his eyes, once gold, steady, controlled, flared with a new kind of fire. Protective. Possessive. Claiming. Whatever it is, he growled softly. It won't touch you. Lyria nodded, burying her face in his chest. She didn't know what was coming. But she knew one thing. She would face it with Damon. Not as an exile. Not as a cursed Omega. Not as a forgotten girl. But as the mate of the Alpha who broke prophecy for her. As the woman who awakened a wolf that should have stayed buried. As the heart he refused to lose. And as the future queen of a new kind of bond. One born not of bloodlines or destiny. But of choice. Two exiles walked into the forest that night, yet destiny would remember them as the Alpha and Omega who rewrote the fate of wolves with a bond no prophecy dared predict.